It's Sunday, 13th of October, 18 days to Halloween. Since editing my last video for Ludendare, I've been itching to work on something again. Before I left teaching, full-time years ago, I'd worked on a game for my class to learn Unity development, shelved as I moved on to new projects. It was popular with them, and since then, some of them have asked me what happened to it. Maybe that was the answer, maybe it was time to get back to work. This is the story of how I resurrected Zombie Arcade, Episode 1. Zombie Arcade is a zombie horde mode with friends, thematically based around late 20th century America. You fight off multiple waves of zombies, similar to the original Call of Duty zombies, but with different effects and randomness along the way. My aim was to create a very basic single player prototype and test it out with friends to then get this video up before Halloween. I like a good deadline. So what better way to get started than from scratch, and hoping I was going to have something to test and show off before the deadline. Let's get to it. I started by building a basic character controller to move around the game world in first person. Pretty easy so far, and of course using the newer Unity input system. Next was doing some modelling. For Ludendare, my brother did all the modelling and art for that. So for this, it was time for me to dust off my non-existent skills and build a basic block out for the map. My idea for the first map is a bank, starting in a side office, into the main hall, the teller's office, a break room, storage room or lavatory, and most importantly, a vault. I build on the map as time goes on, so we'll come back to this later. If you remember from my last game jam video, I hate Unity's default UI system. Well, what better time than this to learn Unity's new UI toolkit? Right, so I did a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Okay. Although very different to before, it was actually surprisingly easy, and much more like building web interfaces. So I started off doing a basic game menu and some text on screen. So already, I had movement, input, and a semi-functional interface. I was on a roll and nothing could stop me. Actually, I had to go away for a week to a conference and couldn't get Unity to work on my laptop, so I've just lost 7 days towards my deadline. With time of the essence, I got back home and powered through adding dumbed down zombie AI, which actually worked pretty well, from the beginning entering the building and following the player around. As the multiplayer would need Steam, I imported the necessary libraries and built a basic integration, which would obtain the player's username and Steam ID. A lot more Steam would be used later in a future episode. Next was adding the fundamental shooting mechanic. This would use raycasts from the camera to find objects to hit. So to test it, I made a laser that would destroy the zombies in its path. Oh, and the entire world. I should probably fix that. After nerfing the super laser, I gave the zombies a way to fight back. It was only fair. And implemented the important round system which controlled the spawning and waves of the zombies. I was back into things at this point and decided I would complete some more of the fundamental mechanics out the way, like different gun types, ammo, and reloading, all of which was now easy to show off using the modern UI toolkit. I added a point system which is gained from shooting the zombies, and then spent to buy ammo, new guns, and unlock doors. Back in Blender, I continued to build up the bank and add new entry points for the zombies in the second room, and added in the other rooms planned. This now meant I could go back in and add all the doors to purchase and define all the rooms properly. The 28th of October, testing day. Today I was planning on having everything for the basic prototype completed and uploaded to Steam. The clock was really ticking and I needed to get everything in a playable state. Crunch time was here. Now that the map was completed, I added the remaining buy points across the map, added weapon switching and implemented sounds for the guns, purchases, and the zombies. I recorded the zombies myself. Getting more UI hints on the screen when around interactions was important to show the cost and what you were actually buying. Finally, it was time to do some last minute balancing, all in the nick of time. Zombie Arcade was ready for testing, so I called up my friend Tristan. Hello Tristan.
Hi Ollie, what do you want?
I need your help with something.
Why do you only call me when you need something?
So I sent Steam keys to Tristan, his partner Haley, and my brother Ben, who hopped on Discord and playtested the game. This was helpful because it allowed me to swap between streams, hear the feedback, and receive bug reports as they happened.
Can I just talk about like the pile up outside the window?
Oh yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It seems to be just that window. I can fix that later. All in all, it was a pretty eventful session. with all competing how many rounds they could survive. I gained valuable feedback which I can now work on before adding the next big features. So after meeting the deadline, the prototype was a success. Zombies come, players shoot, and eventually the end comes. This is just the beginning of my adventure with Zombie Arcade. Next up, multiplayer. See you next time.